Hey, what is up, you sexy beast? GhostSickness, Tristan here, and I just wanted to talk about something today. I'm like, I just really want to do a commentary where you just kind of open the mic and let stuff loose. Just talk about certain stuff. This has been on my mind for a little while, and I want to talk about why I moved in with my dad full time. Now, if your guys' parents are divorced or whatever your living situation is, maybe you do trade houses or maybe you don't. Maybe every other weekend you stay with your dad or your mom or whatever your situation is if they're divorced, or maybe they're not in your life. I don't really know, but I just wanted to make this video because a lot of you guys are in this situation. You know, a lot of families get divorced. It's a very, very high divorce rate around the world, basically, because marriage doesn't always work. People change, people grow apart, people, you know, do stuff like that. And I made a video talking about divorce and how I dealt with it and how you guys should deal with it and stuff like that. And I'll link that in the description below if you guys want to watch that, because it's a pretty serious and awesome commentary in my opinion. But this video is talking about why I decided to move in with my dad. So when my parents split up, I was about 11 or 12. And we'll talk about this more in my Draw My Life. I'm pretty sure I was 11 years old, and ever since then we've been trading houses week to week. 1 week I would stay at my dad's, and 1 week I would stay at my mom's, because they got full 50% custody. Each of them got, you know, full, and because my parents didn't want me to grow up, you know, all weird and stuff like that, so they wanted everything to be equal, because for the most part their divorce and stuff was on good terms. So when they split up, they didn't want our kids to be, they didn't want us to be deprived of, me and my brothers, of any of my parents. So they're like, all right, we'll just do week on, week off, week on, week off, week on, week off. Anyway, so they decided to do that, and I'm like, all right, this is cool. I'll embrace this idea wholeheartedly. This sounds great. You know, I'll pack up all my stuff and I'll trade week to week. So as I got older, I obviously got more stuff, if that makes sense. After I got my car, I just got a PlayStation and recording equipment and mics and computers and all this cool stuff that I've accumulated, not to brag or to my own horn or whatever, but as you get older, you accumulate more stuff. You get more technology devices. Maybe you get more cell phones. I don't know who has more than one cell phone. I don't fucking know. Drug dealers? Anyway, you tend to get more stuff, more clothes, more of this, more of that. And so I was just building up more and more baggage, and so every week I would have to just completely rip apart my setup, take away my PS3, or take my PS3, my Elgato, and all this other stuff, my blue snowball when I was recording with that. I'm not anymore, obviously, but and you know, my clothes and everything, school stuff, and get it all packed up and ready to go. And I used the original boxes, and I would go from house to house. So that was basically my situation, and I wasn't too fond of it. So I'd been thinking about this for a little while, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm almost 17. I can, you know, I'm 17 now, but this is in October, guys. And I was like, well, I mean, I was more thinking about it in February, and then it went to October. Or not February, sorry, September, and then it went to October. So I was thinking about this in September. I'm like, dude, I really have a lot of shit, and I just keep getting more and more stuff that I'm just having to bring house to house and rip down every week, and I can't just, you know, stay at a solid house and just relax and have everything out and, you know, not have to rip it apart every week. And so I was like, well, that kind of sucks. That's kind of a thing I don't like doing every single week, because I like YouTube. I like doing YouTube, and I have to bring my equipment from house to house to do all that. Now, I got duplicates of a lot of stuff. I got duplicate computers. I got duplicate monitors, and that's why I have 2 of them now. And I bring, like, my webcam and PS3. I brought the expensive stuff from house to house, but, you know, some stuff I'd keep there. Like, I had 2 TVs, 2 computers, 2 monitors, 2 keyboards, 2 mouses. Just a lot of the stuff would stay at each house, and so I kept having to bring stuff back and forth either way. And I kind of got sick of it. I'm like, dude, I really don't like doing this. And things at my mom's house began to get a little bit tense, you guys. Fighting with my stepdad. I was fighting with my brother. My little brother, by the way. I mean, not really, but we just didn't get along very well in the same house. We had my little sister, who's very, very little, and so she wasn't a problem, but she was making my mom more stressed out. She would take it out on me and my stepdad, it would cause him to take it out on me, and everything. It just began to be super stressful there. You know, we mainly had McDonald's and other stuff like that. We mainly had food, like food prepared already. It wasn't really, we didn't really cook food. So that began to kind of wear me out, packing up everything every week, changing houses, not seeing your other parent for a whole week, and then being stressed at my mom's house. And so stress in my mom's house is obviously greater than the stress in my dad's house, is why I really haven't mentioned anything, because in my dad's house, you know, cooked meals, everything was nice, everything was laid out for you. And I'm not saying that my mom was a bad parent, because she might be watching this, and say with my stepdad, but it really began to get stressful for me, and I couldn't really take it. And on top of it all, after they got divorced in September, my mom and my stepdad, she began to be less stressed out, it seemed, and everything began to seem better. And then she brought a new guy into the picture, and this new guy in the picture she had known for a while, and she began looking into religious stuff. Now, my mom wasn't particularly religious before this endeavor, I would call it, but he began to, you know, kind of show her all this religious stuff. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of skeptical, but that's your choice, that's your whatever. Because if you guys didn't know, I'm openly an atheist. I've always pretty much been an atheist or agnostic, and I don't want to get into a religious debate with you guys. That's not what this is about. I mean, not really. This is just about the whole transition. So I was sitting in my room just minding my own business one day. She comes in after a little bit with her new boyfriend, and he'd been over quite a bit. It was very, very interesting. I'll talk more about this in my Draw My Life. I still need to make that, guys. I'll start it next week. I'll do it next week, all right? I promise. Please, something. I don't know. I need to do it next week. But so she came in my room, and she was asking me about my beliefs on stuff. You know, do you believe in evolution? How old is the Earth? And all this other stuff. And then she proceeded to tell me that I was wrong, and that, you know, I didn't. Obviously, this doesn't work because of this, and this is because of this, and all, you know, religious stuff. And I was just like, all right, well, you know, it began to get heated. We began kind of yell at each other a little bit. Just, it was ridiculous, because she just came in and she asked me what I thought about something, and I told her what I thought, and then she proceeded to tell me that I'm wrong. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, it's okay to be wrong. Perfectly. I'll admit when I'm wrong. But in this situation, I was like, all right, look, I really don't want to fight with you about this. And so we kind of just let it go. It was a little bit heated that night. And I decided just to go, you know, do whatever, play video games and make videos or whatever. And then, and this was in the beginning of October now. The divorce happened in September, and then it went to October, and things were kind of better, I thought, in my opinion. And I kind of given her my 2 weeks at that point, that I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to move in with my dad. It's kind of, you know, less stressful there, and I don't like moving back and forth every time. And she understood, and she, you know, she wanted me to still see her and wanted me to come visit and everything. And I planned to go see her weekly and everything like that, and that didn't really work out. But, you know, she was talking about downsizing. Anyway, so we got into another fight. You know, she started talking to me about it again, and I thought the subject matter was ended. I thought, all right, well, we'll agree to disagree, and that'll be that. And so she comes in, and she starts talking to me about similar stuff, not exactly the same stuff. You know, like, why aren't you religious and stuff like that? And I'm just like, it's just not for me. I'm sorry. And we just began to fight, and it got heated again. And I'm like, all right, well, blah, blah, blah. And it started getting more heated, and she's like, all right, well, then just move in with your dad now. And so I'm just like, okay, I still had till the end of the week. I don't know, maybe it was Monday. It was several days early on my last week at my mom's house, and she couldn't even make it work. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll leave. And so I packed up my stuff. I got in my car, and I moved in with my dad. It was a little bit premature, but it was about the middle of October. And I decided to move in with my dad because I just couldn't handle the stress anymore. I couldn't handle the disagreements with my mom, because it's perfectly fine if you're religious, guys. I really don't care. But my atheism is my atheism, and your religion is your religion. Let's just keep them separate. So anyway, it began to... I moved in early, and the transition was smooth. My dad was very, very accepting, and, you know, I told him what happened. He's like, wow, that's ridiculous. You know, we'll take you in. It's perfectly fine that you moved in early. And they weren't prepared. They had people over, and I just got all my stuff. And it was a really, really stressful night, and it wasn't a great night in general, because she, you know, was yelling, and she wasn't happy. You know, I told her that I'm sorry, gave her a hug, and she didn't really care. She just didn't say I love you or anything that night. I mean, I did. I told her. But it was very, very stressful that night when I moved in with my dad. But ever since then, things have been rock solid and awesome at my dad's house. And I'm not hating on my mom. I'm not hating on my stepdad or anything. You know, shit happens. I saw my mom yesterday, and it was really, really good to see her. I mean, she's still my mom, and I still love her and everything. And I don't see her that much because she moved a little bit out of town. It's far away, and things are it's just kind of stressful to go out there and see her. I mean, I can't do it all the time. I just can't. So, you know, I like consistency. I like staying in one spot. I like doing things a certain way. And for every week having just to tear that up and change locations and everything, it caused time to go by super, like, slower than it does now. Time flies now because I'm just in one spot doing one thing with one room and one of everything. And so the transition's been very, very interesting. So if you guys are thinking about changing houses or, you know, moving in with one parent and you're 15, 16, and maybe you can make that choice, maybe you can't yet, then if you really think that's in your best interest and maybe the best interest of your parent and your well-being, because in reality it's all about you and how you're doing and how you're feeling, to put it selfishly. Because, yeah, it's good to see your parents, and yes, it's good to love your parents and everything. If it's too much for you, if it's too much stress, if it's too much of whatever, then moving in with one parent is a great idea. It's more, there's more foundation, it's more consistent, and just more regular, right? If that makes sense. So I really hope you guys enjoy this really serious commentary. I started it off with a kind of a funny and not serious mood, but then I got into a really serious commentary. I just wanted to let you guys know that if your parents are divorced, I know how you feel. It's okay. It'll be all right. And if they're still together, congratulations. That's amazing. Great for them. I hope that they are happy together, because some parents stay together even though they fight a shit ton, and it's ridiculous. So, yeah, I just wanted to make this video telling you guys it's okay to move in with one parent, and it's honestly a great choice if it's the choice for you. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe you like changing houses every week. I remember I used to, but then it just became too much, and I couldn't get along with my mom very well. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button. I haven't done a serious commentary in a while. More coming if you guys want them. Have a great day, and remember the fact that I love you.